What up, guys? Mr. Reviews here. It's been ages. Yes. Anyway, I'm doing this video because I have 5 PlayStation 2 titles coming from eBay. Just got the money that I got off my mum yesterday. Anyway, these 5 games, technically only 4, since those are the only 4 that I actually mentioned as wanting and buying off eBay and stuff for my birthday. All 4 of which are from the UK and are completely sealed in their shrink wrap. So that's awesome. Especially for PlayStation 2 titles. The other one is not shrink wrapped, coming from Sydney, which is where I live, which is awesome. It'll be here on Friday, so I'll have an unboxing for that game. As I said, my mom doesn't know about it. I just had the extra money left over in my account, so I bought it because I played it a long time ago on PC when I still had a desktop computer. Got up to one point, thought it was actually broken or something, like something messed up, but it wasn't. It was just a puzzle I just couldn't figure out, apparently. Got a lot further on the OG Xbox version, playing on my 360. I think that was, 2008 I played that game. Shit, that was a long time ago. Played the original Xbox version in 2008. Played the PC version way earlier than that. Actually, no, I think it was 07. Anyway, yeah, so that game, as I said, my mom doesn't know about. It's coming Friday. It's coming on a weekday, so I'll be here. I'll be able to get it, and I'll unbox it for you guys. So in the meantime, I thought I'd just do a PS2 collection. Long story short, I don't think I mentioned this. I think I haven't done a video in that long. But once again, my fucking PS3 hard drive corrupted. My 500 gig hard drive that I had to purchase myself because Sony is too fucking stingy to replace it, even though it was a manufacturer fault. Fuck you, Sony. Plus, they banned my main account because apparently my money... I bought a bunch of stuff, about $400 worth of shit off PlayStation Network for my PS3 and PSP. All of that shit apparently got back charged back onto my card, so apparently I got my $400 back, and now I just need to buy $400 worth of PSN cards, give them the codes over the phone, like to Sony support, and they'll put it all into my account, take it all out and all that shit, and then anything left over will still be in my account once it's all paid back and I get my account back. Let's say I gave them 450, because I think it's like about 420 that I owe them. Then I'll still have $30 once I log into my account, once it's been unbanned. But you know what? Fuck you. So essentially, that means that of course, I've been playing my 360, my 360 Slim actually. So yeah, Xbox is my main console now. Awesome. So all you guys out there on 360, you can hit me up. I'll leave my gamer tag in the description and all that. What else? Right, Xbox One will cost $5.99 here in Australia. PS4 is going to cost $5.49. I do have a secondary account on my on PlayStation Network, so fair enough. But if I'm playing my PS4, obviously, I want to be making sure that I use my main account, so that all my trophies and shit go on there. So essentially, the PS4 is going to cost me around $950 to $1,000. So Xbox One for the win. Anyway, one console that isn't shit from Sony and hasn't ever fucked me over is the PlayStation 2. So here's my PS2 game collection, starting with Airblade. This game was made by Criterion, as you can see there, the guys behind Burnout, and now Need for Speed. Fuck me. Honestly, I hate the Need for Speed games by Criterion. Like, I love them. I loved both of them at first. Hot Pursuit in 2010, Most Wanted last year, 2012. Playing them since, though, absolutely terrible. It's shitty Burnout. That's easy enough to say. But yeah, Airblade, just like Black, this is a game that, is not a racing game that Criterion did. This is their first game on, the last generation of hardware, PS2 and all that. This game is actually published by Sony Computer and is exclusive. So if you want to see an awesome game that isn't Burnout, or obviously Need for Speed now, by Criterion, then check out Airblade. It's pretty sick. It's not the best game ever, but it's it's pretty awesome. There's a back cover and all that. You might remember your demo disc with your PS2 might have come with it, with a demo of it, playable demo. I remember playing it. Anyway, getting to the best of Criterion. The original Burnout. The original Burnout was a really great game. Obviously compared to the most recent Burnout titles, not so much. But, still a classic, still fun to play from time to time. Then, of course, with Burnout 2, Point of Impact, they introduced Crash Mode, which is everyone's favourite thing. Honestly, I'm not crazy about Crash Mode, to be perfectly honest. But recently, replaying Burnout Revenge, both on Xbox 360, for the achievements and all that shit, as well as on PS2. Obviously, we'll be getting to that. I actually really got into the Crash Mode because you need to do all the Crash and all that stuff in the 360 version of Revenge to get all the achievements and all that. But Burnout 2 Point of Impact, pretty good, and introduced Crash, a long-time fan favorite. So, there you go. Now we get to the really good stuff. Burnout 3 Takedown. Holy shit, the memories with this game. This game was sick. I mean, who doesn't remember playing this game? Need for Speed Underground 2 had a demo of Burnout 3. I think it was a Road Rage demo. Gameplay mode Road Rage. Where you just get takedowns on targets. And it was on the downtown map. Everyone remembers the downtown easily. But yeah, Burnout 3, far out. This game was awesome. Great game. And it stepped Crash up as well. It was much better than Burnout 2. And of course, we get to Burnout Revenge. Now, Burnout Paradise, which is on PS3 and 360, and actually is on PC now. Burnout Paradise sort of went back to the Burnout 3 kind of feeling. Had like standard rock music, / sort of like pop rock kind of, like happy, uplifting music, if you know what I mean. And of course, very sunny, bright environments. Whereas Burnout Revenge went really dark, had, some heavy metal in there, some electro, all that kind of shit. It was a very dark game in terms of, the subject matter. It felt a lot darker compared to the other Burnout titles. So yeah, more Burnout games have been more on the sort of the bright side and just been like all crazy and shit. Whereas this one, of course, was all crazy yet really dark and brooding. Which honestly I think is awesome. I think this is the way Burnout should always be, and I think Criterion should go back to making Burnout #1, no doubt about that, and it should be like Revenge. Every game should be like this in the Burnout series. That's just my personal opinion, so don't try to hissy fit. But if you agree with me, leave a comment down below, and I'll talk to you about it. Anyway, moving on. So glad I found this. A non-platinum copy of Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex. This was the first PlayStation 2 game I ever owned. I still remember that day I went to EB Games, got a PS2. It was early birthday / Christmas present. I think this was 2002. I think I got the PS2. And my mom bought me, because obviously it functioned as a DVD player as well. And we just recently bought one in the living room, and obviously I always watch my movies on there and stuff. Of course, because the PS2 was also a DVD player, my mum bought me the DVD remote thing, which you actually don't need, but we didn't know that. Well, she didn't know that. I couldn't give a shit. I wanted this game, because obviously I was, of course, a huge fan of the original Crash games created by Naughty Dog. Best company ever. Best developer ever, I should say. I was a real fan of the original Crash games, so I really wanted to check this one out. It cost $50 at the time, and from memory, yes, it was also a platinum copy. But my mum instead ended up getting that DVD remote. Anyway, I ended up watching a DVD later that night, and I was doing everything with the controller, and I'm like, hey mum, come look at this. I can just do this on my controller anyway. And I still had the remote wrapped in its packaging and shit, so I could return it to EB Games. So I returned it and got this game the following day. Freaking memories. Anyway, this copy I still have platinum. Kind of pissed because there was a non-platinum version at a certain second-hand store a while back. But Crash to Insanity. I know this isn't everyone's favorite Crash game. I swear I did get sort of mixed opinions from a lot of like Crash fans and stuff from memory. To be perfectly honest though, I love this game. I think it's really awesome. I think, you know, the way it plays is really cool. And it's sort of like pseudo open world, and the levels go into each other. And actually, since I bought it again, I haven't actually been playing it all that much. I should actually go back and finish this, maybe. Totally forgot. I wasn't showing the back covers and stuff. There we go, Wrath of Cortex. To Insanity. And of course, the last good Crash game, obviously, it's come out, really, Tag Team Racing. If you never played this, you should definitely give it a go. It's really awesome. So it's got that awesome, you know, kart racing fun of, you know, just like the regular Crash Team Racing, or even Nitro Kart on PlayStation 2 / original Xbox. But this one is really cool. So you got all your kart racing, you know, it's all Mario Kart style. You got your pickups and all that shit, and you can attack everyone. But then you can clash with people, you know, with other racers, and create a massive epic car, which is the combination of the two. One person can be on the turret, one person can be driving. So essentially you can get the AI to drive for you, and then you can just be on the turret, use weapons and all that shit, and eliminate your enemies, you know, cruise through like that. In between that, all of the hub worlds between everything is a normal action-adventure platforming Crash game, which is awesome. You know, this game is really fun. I remember in particular the day that I bought this game, because another game, which I have here, so I'll get around to it when I get to that one, came out, and I called my friend at the same time, my best friend at the time, to say that I just got this, and then he mentioned this other game had just come out, and he just got it, and I was like, no! So I ended up returning this, actually, and getting that one. When I look back at it, though, this game is hell of a lot better, and runs better, too. Essentially, the other title had a bunch of problems, which I'll get to. Anyway, I got this game brand new at EB Games this year. They actually still had it. Actually, alongside Burnout Revenge, Devil May Cry, the first Devil May Cry. I remember my PS2 demo disc had a trailer for this, which went for about 5 minutes, and I frigging loved that trailer. It was so awesome. It was like nothing I'd ever seen before. You know, of course, as I said, I had no PS2 game. You know, I wanted Wrath of Cortex, but I couldn't get it because obviously I got the DVD remote. So I had no PS2 games. I only had the demos that were on the disc. Obviously, watching watching trailers, playing the demos that were on there, like Tekken 4, which is in this collection, of course. And there was a 4 to 5 minute trailer of Devil May Cry, and I'd never seen a game like this. I was like, whoa, that looks sick. It looks so scary and like so awesome at the same time. I really want to check that out. I never got around to it. Did get, before my PS3 stuffed up and all that, got the Devil May Cry HD collection. Played about halfway through this, and then I saw it on PS2, and I was like, sweet, picking this up. You know, which is awesome. So yeah, Devil May Cry, great game. Now sadly, I don't own number 2, which sucks. But of course I do own Devil May Cry 3, Dante's Awakening. Yeah, Dante's Awakening. This game I got for 50 cents at a second-hand op shop. That's because the game is a little dinged up, not gonna lie. It is complete. It's a little dinged up. The disc is a little scratched. I don't know. You can't really see. There is a scratch on there, though, that looks like it won't be able to work. But it does. And because he wasn't sure if it would work or not, I mean, straight away when I saw it, I was like, that's going to work. It's just, you know, it looks bad, but that'll work. But anyway, yeah, I knew it was going to work and I was going to play fine. But he didn't. He wasn't sure about it. So he was like, okay, you can, you know, it was going to be sold for like, you know, it had like a $5 price sticker on it. And he's like, oh, I'll just throw it in with the other game I was buying at the time for $5. For 50 cents. So, awesome. Really awesome. And apparently, you know, this is considered, out of the original main 4, these are considered the best 2. So, great. This game I played quite a bit with one of my friends, Downhill Domination. This game is really cool. I totally forgot. Again, I forgot. But now that I can see it here on the back cover, this was made by Incog Inc. Which, if you remember, there is a PlayStation exclusive franchise called Twisted Metal. At some point, they were like, let's hand this off to another studio or whatever. Who they handed it off to, the game in particular that they made, was Twisted Metal Black for the PlayStation 2. And Incog Inc. were the developers of that. And that game was awesome. I should add it to my collection. One thing, by the way, actually, the cutscenes were like too scary and too deranged and fucked up, apparently, that they took them out of the Australian version. Not sure about. I should really check if the UK has the cutscenes, because if they do, I'll get a UK copy and import it. But my one of my other friends had Twisted Metal Black, and there were no cutscenes, so we'd always play the story mode, and there was, no cutscenes would ever come up. And we're like, what the fuck? And it sucked. And then we were on YouTube one day and found a video which had every cutscene for every character combined into one long ass, like, half-hour friggin' video, which was so cool, and we loved the cutscenes. They were so awesome. But anyway, back to Downhill Domination. I'm pretty sure this came out before Twisted Metal Black. But yeah, it's it's a pretty awesome game. Of course, Downhill Domination. It's it's BMX bike riding, and it's all downhill, obviously. You get different weapons and power-ups. You can throw weapons at your enemies and shit, Mario Kart style. Like glass bottles, or you can just punch from the side of your bike and like knock people off and be like, fuck you, and make them crash. It's got 40 tracks, including music by Run DMC, Slipknot, and the Herbalizer, I think it is. I have no idea who that is. Slipknot, though, hell yeah. Moving on, Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec. These next two Gran Turismo games I just picked up because, hey, it's Gran Turismo. Like, this is a flagship series for PlayStation. This game sells like fucking crazy in Japan, which is a little surprising, to say the least. To be perfectly honest, I'm not a huge fan of Gran Turismo. Forza for the win. But Gran Turismo is pretty cool. But yeah, here we go. 3 A-Spec. I remember specifically when I went and bought GTA 3 back in the day. I was like, yes, can I get GTA 3? I was only like 10 years old. And he's all like, GTA 3 or GT... No, sorry, he was like, GT 3, Gran Turismo 3, or GTA 3. Like, he was a little suspicious. He's like, really? You're getting Grand Theft Auto? What the fuck? But yeah, that's the only thing I remember about this game from back in the day. Next up was a total surprise from another op shop. At first I thought this was a demo, just the way it looked, the cover and everything. But this is actually a game, and this one in particular, this game came out in 3 different versions around the world. None of which ever came to the United States. So if you're watching in the US, you guys never got this Gran Turismo game. And since PS2 is region locked, you'd have to have an import console from whichever country, with whichever version. This one that came out in Australia, and I think it was Australia and Europe, was the most complete, the best version out of all 3. Gran Turismo Concept 2002 Tokyo Geneva. This is actually a full retail Gran Turismo game, which is, it's like, it was a little surprising. I had no idea what the hell this game was. I thought it was a demo of some sort, especially since it's GT Concept. I was like, what the hell is this shit? But yeah, it's a proper full-on Gran Turismo, which is pretty cool. And I gotta say, I love this. I mean, look at the cover. The cover is great. Is the back. The whole way the whole thing is. It's all that shade of blue. It's really beautiful. Looks great. Anyway. This is where 3D gaming got real interesting in 2001. Grand Theft Auto 3, the game that changed everything. Memories just coming back. Who didn't play this game? Honestly, seriously, who the hell didn't play this? God damn it, my nose is really itchy for some reason. But yeah, GTA 3 was great. But moving on to a game that's a hell of a lot more loved, that's for sure. Vice City, hell yeah, Vice City. This game brought the 80s back like nothing else. Rockstar Games presents a Rockstar North game. Welcome to the 1980s. The first line on there. Awesome stuff. Do I really need to talk about GTA? We've all played these. We've all played these games. They are really awesome. GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, which I still need to pick up again and re-add to my collection, are all available as PS2 classics on the PlayStation Network. I'm not gonna lie, PS2 classics on PS3 aren't necessarily that good. Like, they don't run very well, but they're all available, so go check them out. I think even Liberty City and Vice City Stories are available on there. Anyway, I got this game from a new store that has opened up at the mall, where Game used to be. Game also had PS2 games still to the day, whereas places like EB Games gotten rid of all their PS2 stock, even secondhand stuff, which is ridiculous. Honestly, they should keep it all. This shit is really hard to find. This game in particular, I saw this in game, and I really wanted to, pick it up, because it's the PlayStation 2 version of an epic title from Valve, the original Half-Life. Yes, Half-Life was on a PlayStation console before Xbox. What did you know? Did anybody ever see that? That being said, Valve did not actually make this game, like this version of the game, I should say. It was ported over by Gearbox, who were the guys behind the DLC for the game. Like, what was it? Blue Shift and that other one. The green one was all about the military and shit. Can't remember the name of it. I have all of them on PC, on Steam. But this game in particular had another Half-Life DLC that never came out for the PC, which ended up being exclusive in this version of the game, which is called Half-Life Decay. It's kind of like a co-op expansion for the game. As you can see right there, Half-Life Decay, you play as those two girls. And there's Gordon Freeman, which is awesome. But yeah, Half-Life. Man, that game is awesome. Haven't really played it that much on PS2, I will admit. Now we're getting into some good shit. Who doesn't love Naughty Dog? Naughty Dog is so awesome. They're one of the best developers around, and this would have to be their most underappreciated series. Everyone knows Crash Bandicoot. Everyone loves it. Everybody knows Uncharted. The Last of Us just came out. As I said, my PS3 hard drive stuffed up and stuff, so I've never played The Last of Us, which freaking sucks. That being said, I actually never played Uncharted 2 or 3 either. The way Naughty Dog's going right now, personally, not a fan. Come on, guys. Get back to the good old days of Jak and fucking Daxter. Hell yeah. Most recently, the trilogy got re-released for PS3 and PlayStation Vita, which I did own when I had my Vita. It got re-released in HD with trophies and everything, so go pick it up right now. You can go get it. And better yet, in HD and with trophies. Hell yeah, man. So go play that shit. But Jak and Daxter 1, the Precursor Legacy, or just Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy. This game was so good. Another game that had a trailer on my demo disc that came on my PS2, and I remember I just watched the shit out of it, because I watched it at first. It looked really cool. It didn't sink in though. Right toward the beginning of the video, this symbol popped up. Naughty Dog. That symbol pops up right at the beginning of the trailer, or just after it starts playing. That symbol pops up, and it never clicked in my head. But eventually, after watching it about 5 to 10 times, I finally saw it, and then I got all giddy. I was like, yes! Oh my god, new freaking game from the guys who made Crash Bandicoot. This game is going to be so good. And of course, that Christmas, I got the game, I opened it up, I was like, awesome, can't wait to play this shit. Put it in, started playing, did the tutorial level, and then I had to go out for the day. Which fucking sucked. So I didn't get to play it until the night. But when I got home, I beasted this game. And I remember this was the first game in particular. I finished it. It was nighttime. And I was about to go to bed and stuff, and back then, my PS2 was hooked up in my mum's room because she had a little TV in there, and of course we had the TV in the living room, but she's always watching TV and stuff, so I can never use the TVs out there. Or like that TV out there back then, and obviously the one we have now. We all have HD TVs now here, so awesome stuff, HD. Anyway, I was playing in my mum's room, and she comes in. Obviously, it's nearly time for bed and stuff. I'm like, I'm on the final boss fight, and she comes in. She sits down and watched me beat the game, and watch the final cutscene. And I remember specifically, as soon as I finished, I was like, oh, you could see it. I was really sort of like sad and really depressed. And I was like, when are they going to make a sequel? When is the next game going to come out? I remember this is the first game I ever felt that. Like, when are they going to make another game in a franchise? This was the game that did that to me. And I reckon this is one of the games, especially that PS1. I definitely wouldn't call myself a hardcore gamer back when I was a kid. But I used to play the shit out of PS1. When I got to PS2, I really started to become hardcore, and this game in particular, I reckon, is where I began to become a hardcore gamer, because this was just the best thing ever in video game history when this came out. It was so freaking awesome. But yeah, great game. Then, of course, it did get a sequel 2 years later, Jak 2 Renegade, or just Jak 2 in the United States. Not more of the same. This game totally changed. It totally got really dark. Jack's injected with dark eco. He becomes all like evil and sinister. He turned into Dark Jak. He's corrupted. He starts talking in this game. He was a mute in the first one. He starts talking and shit, which is really cool. I was like, whoa, what the hell? Did he just speak? Holy shit. And of course you end up getting guns. It became open world, or more open world. You had sort of like more like a hub world, the city, Haven City. And you could jack hover bikes and hover cars and fly around the city. It was like GTA for a younger audience, but it's made by Naughty Dog, so it's the best game ever. Naughty Dog, great game. Then of course Jak 3 really stepped it up again. This game just added even more shit. Haven City was still there. Now it also took place in the wasteland. As you can see, it's all in the desert and shit on the front cover. You went to the wasteland. You got outcast after the events of Jak 2. In the desert, in the wasteland, you end up getting like dune buggies and stuff, which is friggin' awesome. But yeah, Jak 3 was a just absolutely fantastic conclusion to a trilogy. If anything, I would say this is one of the best trilogies ever created in the history of video games. If you have never played these, you need to play them right now. And as I already said, you can get this as a HD remake with trophies and shit on PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita. So even if you're an Xbox gamer, even if you're a PC gamer, handhelds, you either get Nintendo or now Sony. Go get a Vita. They're totally worth it anyway. And you can get this trilogy on there. That being said, it doesn't run anywhere near as good as, of course, the original games and the PS3 version of the HD trilogy, but it's still good. So regardless, you have to play these games, so settle for the friggin' Vita version. Just play them. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. Now, here we go. I think this is the the second Platinum game I've gotten to out of 4. I still need to find a non-Platinum copy. But Jak X. Now, this was the last game in the Jak Dexter franchise, created by series creators Naughty Dog. Keeping in line with Crash Bandicoot, Naughty Dog made the first 3 Crash games, and then they made Crash Team Racing, which is a kart racer. Now this is Jak X, or in America, Jak X Combat Racing. As the title suggests, in the United States version of the game, it's a combat racing game. So of course you're in cars like these, so like epic, sort of like buggies kind of. But they're a lot more relatable to actual cars compared to the buggies and shit that are in Jak 3. Of course, you got guns and weapons like mounted to the vehicle or in the vehicle, and then you collect power ups and shit, and it activates one of many attack weapons, offensive or defensive weapons. This game was really good. I won't deny that. But there was a real problem with the saving. There was like a save glitch in the game, and it makes it really hard to play it. Regardless, they haven't actually, obviously they haven't put this in HD or anything like that. So you can only get it on PS2. Next up, a game I haven't really played that much. I've started it, played it for about 2-3 hours. When I get around to playing it again, I'll probably just start over. Kingdom Hearts. A lot of people love this game. I'm not going to say I love it yet, because obviously I've only spent like 2 or 3 hours. But I can see why everyone loves this game. It's awesome. Final Fantasy, gameplay and everything. It's by Square Enix. As you can see right there, Square Enix. Mixes Final Fantasy, style characters and all that sort of shit, as you can see, and Disney characters. And once you come across, who is it? It's not Donald Duck, is it? Goofy and whichever duck it is. It's not it's not Donald. It's one of the ducks. As you can see, the white duck down there. I have no idea what his name is. I'm not that big on Disney, on their original IPs and stuff, because honestly I just don't give a shit. But or at least not anymore. I don't keep in touch with all that now. But yeah, him and Goofy come in right toward the beginning, and Mickey Mouse actually. And as soon as I saw that and everything happening, they have all their voice actors who do voice them in the in their cartoon movies and shit that they do. It was really touching. It was awesome. It was like, wow, all these Disney characters are here in a friggin' in an awesome JRPG. Like, that is pretty sick. And I did get into it for those 2 to 3 hours that I was playing. Next up was also on the PS2 demo disc, a very rare game, going on eBay here in Australia. Australian copies in the country going for like $50 to $75 in worse condition. This was like fucking mint condition. Mint condish. This game is really good. Klonoa 2 Lunity's Veil. The original Klonoa, called Klonoa Daughter Phantom Isle, was released for PlayStation 1. It also got a remake on the Nintendo Wii just called Klonoa, straight up. There are also 2 pseudo-sequels to Klonoa 2 on the Game Boy Advance. They're not very good, though. And they're not made by the guys who make this game, which is Klonoa Works, which is an independent, part of Namco that works specifically on Klonoa games. This game is so good. It did not do well, though. Nobody bought it, which is really weird. Some comments that I did see on eBay and shit were like, with things like, oh yeah, this game looked so dumb and stupid and shit, like, look at Klonoa, they thought, it's trying to be all hip and stuff, and it's, that's so lame. But then we ordered the game and it was really awesome. Exactly. I think, something like that might have been the reason why people didn't pick it up. And of course it's rated G and it's a kid's game and all that. It is a kid's game, but it's so good. This game is really awesome. It got 9s and 10s across the board. It's that good of a game, but nobody bought it. So sadly, the franchise died, essentially. I mean, that being said, the Klonoa remake was, 2007? And this game came out in 2001. So they went well for a bit, I guess. Enough to, or at least they tried to, obviously, like, reboot the game or whatever. But that didn't work either. So, sad face. Fuck you guys for not getting that game. It's really good. Now we're up to Need for Speed. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2, the PlayStation 2 version. This is the best version of this game, hands down. And it was the first game in the franchise created by series long stay Black Box Studios. Black Box Studios most recently are known for 2008's Need for Speed Undercover, the next gen version, because there is a PS2 version, which I do have, which we'll get to. And of course 2011's Need for Speed The Run. Now the thing is, Undercover was a bad game. Straight up, that game was fucking terrible. Need for Speed The Run was actually really good. After The Run, though, didn't do very well. Subsequently, Black Box has been pretty much scrapped. They're gone now. The thing is, as well, because you guys didn't buy the run, even though, as I said, it is a really awesome game, because it didn't sell well, Black Box got shut down. They didn't only work on Need for Speed titles, they're also the creators and developers behind Skate, Skate 2, and Skate 3. So now we're never going to have another Skate game. So I hope you guys are happy. But hey, we're still back at the original stuff of Black Box. This is where they're really, this is where they're really shown. This was their awesome shit. Now, I don't have Underground 2. I still need to rebuy that game. But Underground 1, this game was the first full-on, only one version of the game, PS2, Xbox, GameCube, PC. In terms of the main versions, I think there was like a GBA version that was totally unique and shit. But it was just one straight-up version for all those platforms, all made by EA Black Box. This game is so sick. I freaking love Need for Speed Underground. To be perfectly honest, I like Underground 1 more than Underground 2. I'm going to say it right now. I think this game is better than Underground 2. There are multiple reasons why people like Underground 2 more, especially since it brought open world into the franchise. Personally, I think some of the main things, things such as, soundtrack. A soundtrack goes a long way in a racing game, or a game where you're, driving all the time. For me, like driving all the time, like say Grand Theft Auto, stuff like that. It has to have good music. The music was better in Underground 1, in my opinion. So, yeah. Anyway, it looks like the video's getting a little bit laggy. I'm going to split this into two parts anyway. There's actually 36 minutes now. So there's still a few games to go. I think it'd be safe to say we're actually over halfway through the collection. So I'll see you guys in part 2. Oh, wait a minute. Got to hit the stop button.